Recording in progress.
Awesome, great, cool. So we're having a conversation about leads, and I figured I'd take this opportunity to record it because I know a lot of you guys are going to have questions about it. We've recently partnered with a marketing company. We have one current company, but we partnered with a second company that we're looking to work with. And so I want to talk about the leads that the newer company has, what their price points are, what's the marketing advantage to working with this company, so on and so forth, okay? Most marketing companies that provide leads, right? Real-time leads. What exactly is a real-time lead? A real-time lead is a lead that comes to you live once the person fills out the questionnaire. Where they get the questionnaires, where the questionnaires are located is typically in the internet, either through Google ads or through Facebook ads, right? Those are typically the main places where lead generation companies acquire their leads. Real time, again, meaning that it comes to you right then and there. Most marketing companies have an average of anywhere from 10 to 12 to 15 sales for every 100 leads that you acquire, right? That are real time. This has nothing to do with age leads. This is just real time kind of statistics. You know, you buy 100 real time leads, you're going to sell 10 to 12 to 15. 10 is more the average. 15 is really that agent that's working the leads. That's the agent that doesn't mind knocking on doors for people that don't answer the phone call. 15 sales is that agent that's making 250 calls, you know, on Monday, another 250 calls on Thursday. So they're averaging 500 calls a week. I mean, they're really working their leads. They're not giving up on, you know, the person that doesn't answer the first, second, or third time. Every phone number is getting 10 to 15 calls. And they probably have some type of an auto dialer that allows them to make that kind of high volume call. And so that's the average, right? We're currently working with a company that provides us Google ads, Google ad leads, okay? And that's kind of the return that we're seeing from them, okay? It takes about 3-4 days when you pay for the leads for the advertising that they create in your area to go live. So you're not gonna get the leads right away, right? It takes 2-3 days, the lead gets dropped, the advertisement in Google gets created, and then leads little by little start dropping in, okay? The current company we're working with will charge you $20 per lead, and they have 0 minimum requirements. You can order 1 lead just as much as you can order 20 leads or 100 leads or whatever, right? The benefit to them is that there's no minimums. The downside to them is that, you know, the percentage of return isn't as high as the second company that we're working with, right? And that's kind of that, right? That's that piece. The newer company that we're working with has a higher percentage return, which means for every 100 leads you acquire from them, you're going to sell anywhere from 15 to 25, right? That's a 15 to 25% return. That's a big difference from 10 to 15. If the first company's high is 15 and the second company's low is 15, you know there's a difference in quality. Now, with quality comes a price point. They're more expensive. They're about $25 per lead. They're going to develop a Facebook advertisement, not a Google ad, a Facebook ad. It's going to still take 2 or 3 days for that advertisement to be circulating before you start receiving the lead. So that's there. However, here's the market advantage. Number one, higher return. Why is there a higher return? Because they have much more qualification points, much more questions that the person has to answer in order for it to be classified as a qualified lead. Right? We're talking, you know, favorite hobby question. We're talking how much insurance do you need? We're talking, do you need coverage? Do you not? Not every client answers those questions, but those are the types of questions that are in their advertisements that the client essentially has to answer in order for it to be qualified as a lead to you, right? A high quality lead. The other piece is that it's going to be within a 25-mile radius of the location you pick. Right. So if you say, hey, I'm buying leads, Naples, Florida, it's going to be within a 25-mile radius of Naples, Florida. Anything outside of that space, and they'll replace that lead with a lead that's within that radius. So the people that like to do door-to-door, face-to-face type sales, it's advantageous, right? It's only final expense. The second company that we're talking about right now, the first company will do final expense leads, which is over 65 leads, but they'll also do over 50 leads, right? Final expense are people that are 50 years or older, but the first company will also do under 50 years of age leads, which are more like mortgage protection leads and stuff like that. This second company, the one I'm really excited about, they only do final expense. They stay in their lane. They only do final expense. They stay in their lane. Their leads are $25 a lead. And you have to order a minimum 25. So what does that mean? That means out the door minimum, you're spending $500. Out the door minimum, you're spending $500, but you're getting a much higher quality lead. If they're giving you a 15 to 25% return, right? And you order the minimum of 25, let's just kind of do those quick numbers there, right? 25 times a 15% return means you should sell approximately minimum four of those 25 leads, right? Now, if those 25 leads cost you $500 and you're averaging $1,000 in commissions per lead, you just made $4,000 out of a $5,000 investment, right? Statistically, they're telling us that their clientele will anywhere from 5 to 10x the return that they put in. Well, 5 to 10x the return that they put in, right? 15% return is more that average, not really working the business type of person. 25% return is really that person that's, they don't mind knocking on doors for the phone numbers that don't answer. Again, they're very ritualistic about their dials. They are, calling 500, they're doing 500 dials a week. They have an auto dialer system, right? AKA Jarvis, right? Our CRM system has a phenomenal auto dialer and a level of artificial intelligence because the client's getting touched by text messages, voicemails, emails. Anyways, so back to it. Second marketing company, okay? You can buy 25 leads real time, minimum 25 in order. That's $500. The other way you can order leads are their aged leads. Their aged leads are anywhere from 21 days to 1 year old. It doesn't necessarily mean that that lead has been sold. It could very well be a brand new lead that nobody's touched. It's never been sold, but it's available for you to purchase as an aged lead because it doesn't come in real time, right? So that's a plus because a lot of companies that sell aged leads, they've already sold their leads 2, 3, 4 times. That isn't there with their aged leads. Some of them might have been resold, but some of them might not have at all, okay? They want a minimum of 75% quality, right? What I mean by that is, again, those questions that they ask in the questionnaire, right? The more they answer, the higher a percentage of quality that lead carries, right? A high intent, high quality lead is going to be in the 90% bracket. That means that they answered 90% of the questions, that were asked. When you're buying batches of aged leads, the average across the board is always going to be over 75%. That's their commitment. So some of those leads might be in the 90% bracket. Some of those leads might be in the 50% bracket, but the average is going to be about 75%, right? Now there's 2 price points when you're buying those leads. If you buy 50, they cost you $7.50 per lead. So $7.50 times 50 leads is $375, right? That's the lower end. If you buy 100 aged leads, it costs you $5 a lead. So $5 a lead, 100 leads means $500, right? Those are kind of their 3 price points. With an aged lead from this marketing company, you can select a certain zip code, right? Or city and state. I don't know what they use to measure. But the leads that you're going to get are going to be within that 25-mile radius that we talked about, which is really cool because the aged leads that we currently were using from our first marketing company, although they were really cheap, $2 a lead, that's not a lot at all. They were only going to guarantee the state. So if you lived in like North Florida, you got a South Florida lead, it's about 8-hour distance, right? That's a little bit harder, right? If you live in North Illinois, well, I mean, everybody knows the states are pretty large. You were only going to get a guarantee of the state. You weren't going to get a guarantee of the location. The second marketing company gives you a guarantee of the location. So if you're not a virtual person the way I am running virtual meetings and you're still belly to belly, the second one really helps out, in my opinion. Okay. So what does that mean, right? If I'm a brand new agent and I'm looking to buy leads from this second marketing company, I have to decide what's my budget. If there's no way I can hit $500, right? But I can afford $375, I'm going to go the first route. All right, I'm gonna go an age lead route. I'm gonna say, hey, give me 50 leads, $7.50. I'm gonna buy, 50 leads, no problem, right? Or I could partner with somebody. If I partner with somebody that's within the same scope of area, right? You can't say I'm gonna partner with somebody that lives in Chicago, but I live in California. That doesn't work, right? Because those are 2 different advertisers that have to be created, right? You got to partner with somebody that's local in your area. You could pick any of those 3 and kind of divvy it up, right? If I'm gonna partner with somebody and I want an age lead, I'm probably going to pick up, 100 leads, split it 50-50, and each pay $250. But if I'm by myself, I have to pick $375. But if I can afford 500 by myself, I have two choices. I can pick real-time leads and get 25 of them, or I could pick age leads and get 100 of them, right? If I can afford 1,000, in my opinion, that's the ideal. If you can afford $1,000 worth of leads while having Jarvis, I would do 25 real-time leads and I would do 100 age leads. And I would take those 100 age leads and I'd push them into Jarvis. I'd let Jarvis do text messages, voicemails, and emails for 12 weeks every single day, right? And let Jarvis filter out who's interested and who's not, knowing that Jarvis, if the person replies to the text message or the email, you get notification that the person replied. So you can log into your Jarvis and handle that conversation. If you work a 9 to 5 and you're not able to handle that conversation because you're busy, Jarvis will reply for you, right? So I'd have 100 age leads pushed into Jarvis, but I'd have 25 real-time leads that I'm going to call and I'm going to work with myself. If you got $1,000 budget, that is ideal. That's exactly what I would do. Why do I love this marketing company? Because of their percent of ROI. Percent of ROI, right? Knowing most marketing companies giving you, 10 for every 100 versus this company gives you 15 to 25 for every 100, that's a higher ROI. That means they're putting a lot more time and energy into the quality of their leads. Again, only final expense, and there are minimums, and there 100% are minimums that you have to be able to meet in order to get these types of leads. Certain territories, high volume territories, it could cost a little bit more. It could cost from, instead of 25 a lead, it could cost $28 a lead. Certain territories, it might take a little bit longer to fulfill the orders. For example, I was told North Carolina, high volume state in reference to final expense leads. So what normally takes them 5 to 7 days in order to fulfill an order could take them 10 days, 11 days to fulfill the order. Instead of it costing $25 a lead, it could cost $28 a lead. Certain territories, right, have a higher cost. They also do Spanish leads, right? If you're someone that you're like, I want to work in the Spanish market, I speak Spanish, they also do the same type of Spanish lead, only final expense, only Facebook ads, again, real-time, aged. This recording I'm giving you right now gives you a better insight on what they are, and you can then kind of determine which ones you want to do. If you want to place an order, I need you to hit me up and let me know. Right now, for sure, I've got, let me think here real quick. I've got Flor and Baleen that are placing an order. I've got, let me think here real quick. Who else? I got Takira's actually already placed her order. I've got Irvin that mentioned to me he wants to place an order. And so I'm opening this up to everybody else as well too. I'd like to place a big bulk order and really capitalize on these opportunities, okay? Same price for Spanish leads, Rubiel. I want to say that they're a little bit cheaper. Don't quote me on that. It's worth having a conversation with them. I'll ask and find out, but I want to say that they're a little bit cheaper by maybe $1 or $2. So instead of paying 25, you're probably paying $21, $22 for that lead, somewhere around there, okay? Any other questions that anybody has before we transition into orientation part 2? Everybody's good? Okay, beautiful. I love it.